Legos. Remember those little toy plastic bricks that we all grew up with? Well, today the company is looking for an alternative to the plastic that makes the toy. And in the midst of a challenging plastic problem that we face in today's culture, how might circularity help? We will break it down for you right here on UBS Trending. Hi everyone, and welcome to UBS Trending. I'm your host, Amantia Muhedini, and I'm happy to be here today with my colleague and teammate, Michelle Liberty. Michelle, welcome. Let's get right to it. In this month's Sustainable Investing Perspectives publication, we talked about recent headlines on the company Lego and specifically its efforts to abandon a multi-year quest to move away from plastics and look for recycled plastic bottles as a replacement for a key material to make their toy bricks, the red and yellow and green ones that we all well know. So tell us a little bit more what happened here.
Yeah, so the company was, again, as you just described, attempting to switch to producing those bricks from recycled PET or PET plastic from virgin ABS plastic, which is what they were originally using and is petroleum based. Now, why did they have to essentially abandon that plan? Well, first you have to remember that when the entire business model really revolves around plastic, it's going to be a heavier lift. But there's also considerations as to the type of plastic and what potential changes need to be made to manufacturing and production to facilitate a transition like that. So the company actually found that the changes to that process that they would have to make would negate the emissions reduction benefit of the switch.
That's interesting. And just to go a step back, right, you talked about petroleum-based plastic that they were using. Ultimately, maybe we don't think about it. The table that we're kind of have our hands on right now, the chairs we're sitting on, a lot of it is generating the demand for fossil fuels. And so companies like Lego, but many others are setting these goals to reduce their emission. For that, they need to change their whole production. So tell us more. I mean, they step back from this. Does it mean that the end of the journey, we reached the end of the road here on sustainability?
Rather than the end of the road, I think what it tells us is that the road is long and there's going to be speed bumps along the way, and there's not going to be a perfect solution for sustainability or for plastic that's going to work for everyone across the board. There's going to be a number of different solutions that are going to come into play here.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, you and I, as investment strategists, we always talk about the importance of diversifying for investors in portfolios. In some ways, you're talking about different solutions. That's the other angle of diversification, right? Like we need to have exposure to all of these innovations. So with this not being so much of a viable option for Lego, what else is on the table right now?
Yeah, well, it is worth saying that other companies or other industries may be more easily able to shift to something like rPET or recycled PET. We have seen some success from others in increasing their usage, but I think it's really about this broader solution set of circularity. It's not just about these innovative materials, it's also about reuse programs, right? Trade-in programs, even just ways to extend the life of the product can help as well. So it's really not just about the material. Recycling plays a role as well.
Yeah, of course. And circularity, it's a funny word to me always to say. I mean, it's just this concept of moving from a linear economy, you're extracting from the earth, petroleum in this case, and then you're making something and throwing it away. So you're describing a different business model that could work. Now, with this in mind, what are some of the broad picture implications that investors should pay attention to?
Yeah, I really see two basic takeaways. Number one, the plastic challenge is incredibly hard to solve. We are going to need a multi-pronged approach, and it's not going to happen overnight. But the second takeaway there is that we do describe this opportunity set in our circular economy report. And just because there are some innovative solutions that might be exciting, but they're still niche and hard to scale, there are other innovations that might be a little bit closer to fruition. Something like advanced recycling, or again, a number of opportunities that lie just outside the bioplastic or the material space.
Yeah, no, absolutely. In some ways, just like these toys help us think creatively, I think broadly as an economy, we have to think creatively. And as investors, our job is to find these opportunities and really space them from those short term to those longer term. So great conversation. Thank you for joining me. And thank you everyone for joining us. For more information, visit ubs.com/views. And UBS Trending is also on social media. So follow us on Instagram at UBS Trending for content that you won't find anywhere else. You can also check out LinkedIn, Facebook, and X, formerly known as Twitter, for more. And as always, if you have any questions about your portfolio, please speak with a financial advisor. Until next time, I'm Amantia Muhedini. Have a great day, and remember to keep your eyes on what's trending.